Guys, what we're doing today is installing the K&N cold air intake for the 2012 Silverado. As you can see, it's aluminum. That's actually pretty cool right there. But this is made out of aluminum there. All the fittings black painted. There's a black filter. Got some hoses. So we're gonna get started on this. We opened everything up, wanted to see, make sure we had everything. And here's what we're gonna be replacing. We're taking this off, the stock air box, take out the mass air sensor, and install the new one. Here we go. So as you can see, time lapse. My 14-year-old son's helping. I'm doing the stuff that he can't reach, but so far he's working on getting the air box, the K&N air box, all fitted with the rubber gasket, the bracket, and there's like here, I'll show you. This guy right here bolts to the inside of it, and that is smooth. So the filter mounts to the outside of this, and I guess as the air is coming in, this smooths it out. So that's going to get mounted next. I came up here, as you can see. This here's a rubber adapter to go from the throttle body to the aluminum cold air intake. 2 worm clamps. So we'll keep on moving on. Alright, so what we had to do was, once you put the bracket in here that holds the air cleaner, it tells you to drill a 5/8 hole here. So started off with a small step bit and then moved up to the bigger one and then tested. It's real easy to make the hole too big, so test fit the grommet in there. Mine's just slightly bigger, so it should clamp down nice and tight. Make sure you get all these shavings out of here, because you don't want this sucking into the air cleaner. I mean, obviously it's not going to go into the engine, but still, you don't want this, it'll get rusty from the weather. So we'll get the shop vac and suck all this out. Alright, so you've seen us suck all the metal shavings out with the shop vac, but now I have a bare metal hole. So I just went around the garage until I found a can of paint that I don't even care what color it is. I just want to put a little bit of paint on that hole, keep that from rusting. And I think it's black. That works for me. So as you can see, we drilled that hole for the new grommet that's going to hold the metal bracket that holds the filter in and creates an air box. So he's going to wait for that to dry and then install that. Okay, so the grommet that comes with the K&N filter, one goes in the factory location. You take a pair of pliers and pull out the factory grommet. Another grommet goes in the hole that we drilled. Then you set the air box down in there, or the air box shield, whatever you want to call this guy, with the hardware provided. Hold on, wrong washers. Okay. Now what they provided us here are these grommets that crush down as you screw them tight. So don't overdo it. I would say just make them snug as a bug in the rug. Come on, where you at, hole? Can't find the hole. There we go. So we'll get these cinched down, and then we will mount this extension bracket over here. that goes into a factory hole in the fender and get that all tightened down. Okay, so we got this mounted. What I'm going to do, again, I like to protect these bolts, so I'm going to spray the head of these. I don't know, these are supplied by K&N, but I'm not sure if you know, what type of bolt it is. So, you know, why not protect yourself? And that can is dead. So what, I had a friend clean out his garage, give us 4 boxes of old paints and cleaners and stuff. So I'm using them. This can's almost full, but it's probably 15, 20 years old. And it's no good. So I guess I'll go to the box and dig for another one. We got a couple, cover up a couple bolts, but maybe all it needs is a new sprayer thingy. Okay, so basically these 2 bolts now hold the new air box in to this tray, which I thought maybe could have been an auxiliary battery tray, but it's not. That's what held the factory air box. And then there is a bracket. Sorry, so much sun out today, which is a good thing. There's a bracket here that holds that to the fender. There's a hole in the fender we used already. Again, painted all the bolts black, put some sort of a coating on them so they don't rust. Just some old crappy paint I had laying around. Okay guys, here's the finished product. Got the filter mounted, cold air intake, the mass air sensor, connectors on, crankcase ventilation hose. You pull off the one that went into the stock intake. It comes with a hose. Cut that to length, install that, make sure all your clamps are tight, and off we go. So we're going to take it for a test drive to see if we actually make, you know, it's advertised at 12 horsepower and some torque. So we'll find out if it actually feels different, which in past vehicles, you know, I've noticed a difference for sure. But the real thing is you'll see in the beginning of the video where we went for a test drive and we checked the radio, because we can actually measure the cold air intake, or the temperature of the air coming into the motor through the iData link. So we're going to take this for a ride and we're going to measure, well, not measure, but we're going to see if the temperature actually drops. I'm just curious if a cold air intake actually does what it's supposed to do, other than make power. I mean, it has a fancy name, cold air intake, so let's see if it actually drops the temperature of the air. I've never been able to do this before, so this will be interesting.